This conference is asking an important question. Does the Western in Western conservatism stand for something greater than our geography? Do we as Western conservatives still have something unique to say to the conservative movement and the country? Or have the forces of national homogenization robbed us of a distinctive voice? Well, ask people, what's Western conservatism? They'll answer you. They'll say it's freedom. It's live free or die. It's self-reliance. And all those things are true. But if we end the definition there, we're left with a one-dimensional caricature of what Western conservatism has been and can be. Because, yeah, we've always valued our freedom and treasured our liberty. But we never saw these things as ends unto themselves. We always saw them as the means to an end greater than ourselves. Western conservatives built families, communities, and the nation. And this is a heritage we have to reclaim and reassert if we are to speak into this moment in our nation's history in a way that is relevant and can make a difference. Western conservatives, above all, have always been nationalists. We have revered American traditions, American soil, and the American nation. And we've lost sight of this critical heart of our conservatism. I want to give 3 examples from history that illustrate this point. The first comes from the famous historian Frederick Jackson Turner in his famous essay, The Significance of the Frontier in Western History. Written in 1884, he says something really important. He says, you know, those people east of the Alleghenies, yeah, they might be physically present on the American continent, but they are not American. They are European in their speech. They are European in their dress. They are European in their modes of thought. It is the West that has challenged and tried these people and forged them into what he called a new American product. I want to read his words because they're important. Turner wrote, "In the crucible of the frontier, the immigrants were Americanized, liberated, and fused into a mixed race, English in neither nationality nor characteristics." In other words, the West was not a flight from the nation. It was the forge that produced the nation. Second example comes from my state of Nevada. This is not a competition, by the way, but Nevada is the greatest delegation here at this conference. I heard a second. You know, our state fathers during the Civil War were blessed by geography. They were far from the blood and battles back east. They could have just sat still, done nothing, and enjoyed their personal freedom, including their freedom from that conflict. Not what they did. They did the exact opposite. They rushed to become a state in time to support President Lincoln in the 1864 election, to win the Civil War, and to support the 13th Amendment ending slavery. They were in such a rush to become a state in time that they famously telegraphed our state constitution to Congress because there was no other way of getting it there in time to make a difference. Nevada, President Lincoln recognized Nevada as a state 1 week before the election in 1864. We voted for Lincoln. We sent 2 Republican senators and 1 Republican member of the House to Washington to support the 13th Amendment. And all along, over $400 million from the Comstock load in Nevada funded the Union Army. We didn't run from the battle, we ran in to save the Union. My last example comes from the 2 most iconic Western conservatives, Barry Goldwater, Ronald Reagan. These were men who cherished freedom, liberty, supported small government. But in their day, they too saw a threat to the Union, and they too rushed to confront that threat in the form of an aggressive Soviet empire. Goldwater and Reagan were staunch, fierce Cold Warriors. Things have changed since their day. In the seats held respectively by Goldwater and Reagan, today sit Mark Kelly and Gavin Newsom. You walk out in the streets of Denver, the great city of Denver, and you're assaulted by the smell of marijuana and urine. It is the stench of decline. Liberty has fallen into license. Self-reliance has fallen into self-indulgence. Distance from government has fallen into disconnection from community and nation. If we want to speak into this moment and make a difference, shouting about rights to people who recognize no responsibility will make no difference. Talking about freedom to people who understand no restraints will not make a difference. We need to reclaim Western conservatism in its fullness. The freedom, but the freedom in service of something greater than ourselves, our communities, and our nation. Reverence for American history. Reverence for American traditions, reverence for this American soil. Postmodern man tells us he does not care about these things. I think postmodern man does not know his own soul. Let us reclaim these parts of our tradition and reassert them so we can remind them who they really are. Thanks so much. Have an excellent day.